Hello students, welcome you all for the lecturing session on projection of planes in the subjects Computer Aided Engineering Drawing. I am Krishna Prasadyas, Assistant Professor from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, MIT Mysore. In the previous class, we have done with two problems regarding to the square lamina. In continuation with the previous class, I am continuing with the one more square lamina problems. After that, we are going for the problems on rectangular lamina. Okay, so the third problem regarding the square lamina, that is called here the top view of a square lamina of side 30 mm is a rectangle of side 30 into 20 mm with the longer side of the rectangle being parallel to both HP and VP. Draw the top and the front views of the square lamina and what is the inclination of the square lamina with HP and VP. So compared to the previous problem, in this problem they have not given the any kind of inclinations with respect to HP and VP. Instead of that, they have telling that we need to calculate the inclinations with respect to HP and VP. Okay, so first we need to consider here the top view of a square lamina of side 30 mm is rectangle of 30 into 20 mm. So here the resting condition it is also not given. Okay, the resting condition we need to figure out. Okay, observe here, what is the resting condition? They have given it is called square lamina and the dimension of the square lamina it is 30 mm. But what is the resting condition? Whether it is resting on HP or VP, that is very much important. If the resting condition, if they have given it is top view, then the resting condition we can directly take it as HP. If the condition they have given it is on the front view, then we can go for VP. Okay, so in this problem resting condition now we can go for that is called the top view of a square lamina of side 30 mm. That means the resting condition in this problem it is resting on HP, and whether it is resting on edge or corner, that is very much important. Here they have not given any kind of equal inclinations with HP or resting on corner, then default we need to take that is called the resting condition it is on HP along with edge condition. Okay, so now I am drawing XY line. Okay, now I am drawing an XY line. Now the plane above the XY line it is called vertical plane, and the plane below the XY line it is called as a horizontal plane. Now they have also given the resting condition of the square lamina of side 30 mm. Okay, right, the square lamina of dimension 30 mm. Okay, the square lamina of dimension 30 mm square lamina of dimension 30 mm with edge condition, and the dimension it is called A, B, C and D. The naming it is called, the sides are like AB, BC, CD and DA. So next darken this. Okay, for the perfect views. Okay, so this is called the four corners A, B, C, D along with the four sides A, B, B, C, C, D and D. Next what we need to do? Next project the lines from the top view to the front view. Okay, so in the front view it is exactly looks like a straight line. Okay, in the front view it is exactly looks like a straight line and observer is here, hence here we can say that this point it is called A dash in bracket D dash and B dash in bracket C dash. Okay, so next complete the front view. Okay, so next we have to go for condition number 1. Here the top view of a square lamina of side 30 mm, right? Here square lamina of 30 mm it is written here. Now the top view of a square lamina is rectangle of side 30 into 20 mm. Okay, there are two types of rectangle we can write. So one it is called 30 and 20, that means this side it is called 30 and this side it is called 20. Another one it is called, this side it is called 20 and this side it is called 30. Okay, now which one you need to select, whether the first one or the second one. Observe here, if the square lamina of 30 mm side has to be taken, then first one we need to select instead of the second one. Okay, observe here, the square lamina in the top view it is looks like 30 into 20 mm. So that draw the projection lines. Okay, so this dimension it is directly, it is nothing but 30 and another 20 mm we need to consider from here. Okay, so now this it is called a square lamina of dimension 20 mm and this side it is called 30 mm. Okay, so now write the dimension. This is called 30 and this is called 20, and the same naming should be carried from the first position to the second position. This is called D, this is called C, this is called B and this is called A. Now we need to find out the inclinations with respect to HP and VP. For that, again project the lines from top view to the front view. Okay, so once we are projecting from top view to the front view, and this point it is called nothing but this one. We are directly projecting from here to here, so this is called A dash in bracket D dash, and extend this projection line to the unknown point. Okay, now take the protractor and measure this point and mark it here. So this is called B dash in bracket C dash. Okay, this is called B dash in bracket C dash, and complete this line. Okay, then find the angle with respect to HP here and find the angle with respect to VP here. Okay, now very simple, keep the protractor here and note down the angle. Okay, so angle with respect to HP it is called 55 degree. Okay, and angle with respect to VP it is called 35 degree. So this is regarding to the inclinations with respect to HP and VP. Next, the final position they have given, that is called here the longer side of the rectangle being parallel to both HP and VP. Observe here, what is the longer side? The longer sides are called AD and BC, shorter sides like AB and CD. Now the longer side of the rectangle should be parallel to both HP and VP. That means we need to completely rotate from this position to this position. Okay, observe here, initially it is a square lamina. Once the square lamina it is inclined at 50 degree to HP, now it is looking like this. Now we need to rotate the square lamina until and unless it is parallel to both HP and VP. It should be like this. Okay, now I am writing the square lamina, it is parallel to both HP and VP. Okay, now the square lamina it is rectangular lamina, it is being parallel to both HP and VP. This, observe here, this is called point A and this is called point D and this is called C and this is called B, and write the dimensions also here, that is called, this is 30 and this is called 20. Okay, we are just rotating the square lamina from here to here. That is very simple. How we are writing, that is called, first take the dimension of 30 mm and fix the point here and draw the 30 mm line. After that, so once AD it is done, then take the dimension DC. DC it is called 20. Then again from the DC 20, from the point C, draw the line 30 mm. Then B to A, it is again 20. Now the top view position is over. Final position we need to write, then projecting it to the front view. Okay, how we are projecting it? Just draw the projection lines. So this is A and this is A dash, and this point it is called A dash. So then this is B, this is B dash, and projecting both, and this point it is called B dash. Similarly, this is C. Okay, this is C dash, both meeting at a point. So this is also C dash. Then last one, this is D dash, and this is D, both point meeting here. This is also called D dash. Now join all the points. Okay, this is called square lamina, is being parallel to both HP and VP from 30 mm to rectangle, that is called 30 into 20, and the rectangular lamina, it is being parallel to both HP and VP. This is the final position regarding to the last problem in the square lamina. Okay, so this is regarding to these problems on square lamina. Welcome back, students. Now we are moving on to the next problem. It is regarding to the rectangular lamina. Okay, so here the rectangular lamina of 35 into 25 mm rests on HP with one of its shorter edges of the lamina. It is rotated till it is appears as a square in the top view. The edge on which the lamina rests is inclined at 30 degree to VP. Draw the projection and find the inclination with HP. Okay, here they have given the rectangular lamina. So that means in case of the rectangular lamina, we are having the longer edges as well as the shorter edges. So what is the dimension of the longer edges? That is called 35 into 20 mm, and one of its shorter edges, the lamina, it is going to rest. Okay, so the lamina, it is resting on one of its shorter edges. Okay, but the resting condition they have not given whether it is resting on HP or VP. For that we need to check whether in the second position the lamina, it is appears as a square or a rectangle in the front view or in the top view. Observe here whether it is given or not. So in the problem they have mentioned that is called in the top view it is appears as a square. That means the top view means it is nothing but the resting condition, it is it should be starting from the HP only. Okay, so now draw the XY line. Okay, now draw the XY line. Okay, and the plane above the XY line, it is called vertical plane. The plane below the XY line, it is called it as the horizontal plane. So that means here they given the rectangular lamina of 35 into 20 mm rests on HP with one of its shorter edges. So shorter edges means, that means first we need to take the dimension of 20. Okay, and the longer edges, it is nothing but 35. For that we need to take 35 here. Okay, just write the dimension here and complete the figure. Okay, so what is the dimension of the shorter edge? It is nothing but 20. And what is the dimension of the longer edge? It is nothing but it is 35. And make the naming, that is called A, B, C and D, and dark the lines. Okay, so dark the lines, it is nothing but we need to dark the edges. Okay, now we are make the lamina rest one of its shorter edge and along with resting condition or edge condition, that means they have not given any of the corner condition here. Okay, now projecting it to the front view. Okay, so here what is the point? Observe here, so observer is here, that means this is called A dash in bracket D dash and B dash in bracket C dash. Okay, now complete the line. So this is called the view in the vertical plane. Okay, so this completes the first position. Next, what they have given, resting on HP one of its shorter edges, that is we are already done. Then now lamina should be rotated till should be appears as a square in the top view. That means now the rectangular lamina, it is rest here. So now we need to rotate the rectangular lamina till it appears as a, look at here, the lamina, it is resting in the HP, and we are rotating the lamina till it appears as a square in the front view, sorry, till it appears as a square in the top view. That means we need to draw a square lamina with a dimension of shorter edges. Okay, so what is the dimension of the shorter edges? It is nothing but 20. Okay, draw the dimension 20 in the top view. Okay, now we have completed the dimension of the square lamina with 20 mm. Okay, so this is called square lamina. It appears in the top view. Now we need to keep the same naming as it is in the front view. That means this is called D, and this is called C, and this is called A, and this is called B. Next, project the two straight lines into the front view. Okay, and what is this point? This point, it is nothing from, we are directly projecting from this position to this position. So this is called A dash in bracket D dash. Okay, then we need to take the compass and measure this distance, and from A dash D dash to B dash C dash should be marked here. So this is called B dash in bracket C dash. Okay, once we completed these things, then draw the line and note down the angle of inclination with respect to HP. So here in the problem they have asking, it is called what is the inclination with respect to HP. Now place the protractor here and note down the angle. So angle we are getting, it is called 42 degree. Then what is the inclination with respect to VP? Then it is opposite, that is nothing but 90 minus 42, that is called 48 degree. Next, first two positions are over. Now we are moving on to the final position, that is called the edge on which the lamina rests. It is inclined at 30 degree to VP. What is the edge we are resting here? Whether it's a shorter edge or a longer edge. So we are keeping the resting condition as shorter edge. And what is the name of the shorter edge? It is nothing but AD. Now the lamina AD should be inclined at 30 degree to VP. For that, take the point here and keep the protractor here. Okay, and draw the line. Okay, so what is the angle? This is called 30 degree to VP. Now we need to keep the line AD on 30 degree to VP. For that, first mark one point here, and this is called either D or A. I am taking as D. Measure D to A. This is called the point A. Next, we need to take another 2 points, that is called B and C. Now first take the point from D to C and draw the arc. Okay, similarly take from A to C, draw the arc. Similarly take the point from A to B, draw the arc. Then D to B, draw the arc and complete the figure. Okay, now once it is done, join the points here. Okay, what is these 2 points? This one it is called C and this one it is called B. Once it is done, we need to projecting it to the front view and complete the figure. Okay, so this is called D and this is called D dash, both meeting at a point, that is called D dash. And then this is called C and this is called C dash, and both meeting at a point C dash. And this is called A and this is called A dash, both meeting at a point A dash. Similarly, this is called B and this is from B dash, both meeting at a point B dash. Now complete the figure, that is called A dash B dash, B dash C dash, C dash D dash and D dash A dash. So this is regarding to the rectangular lamina. with 35 into 20 mm with a resting on one of its shorter edge, and in the second position it looks as a square in the top view of 20 mm, and we are find out the inclination with respect to HP, that is called 42 degree, and the lamina on which it rests makes 30 degree to VP, and we are completing the figure. So this is regarding to the first problem on rectangular lamina. Next we are moving on to the last problem regarding to the rectangular lamina, that is called a rectangular lamina of negligible thickness of size 35 into 20 mm. Same, okay, as one of its shorter edges on VP. Okay, now one of its shorter edges on VP. So in this problem they are asking that it is one of the shorter edges on HP, but now there it is called one of its shorter edges on VP. With edge it is inclined at 40 degree to HP. This condition we can see later. Draw the top view of its front view is a square. That means we need to draw the top view, but in the front view it appears as a square. That means the resting condition in this problem it is starting from VP instead of HP. Okay, now draw the XY line. Okay, draw the XY line. The plane above the XY line it is VP, and the plane below the XY line it is called HP. Again, rectangular lamina, negligible thickness, size 35 into 25 mm with one of its shorter edges. That means twig 20 mm dimension and 35 mm dimension in the opposite position. Okay, complete the figure and later darken it. Okay, it is called rectangular lamina with a negligible thickness with resting on VP with one of its shorter edges, that is called 35 into 20 mm with a resting on one of its shorter edges. Okay, so this is the first position, and now observer is here. When he is looking from here, we need to make the line naming A, B, C and D. If the observer is looking from here, and this point it is called A in bracket B, and this one it is called D in bracket C. Okay, complete the figure. So this is regarding to the first position. Now we are moving on to the second position. What they are asking, in the front view it appears as a square. That means same like the previous problem. Complete the figure. So here it appears as a square with a dimension of 20 mm, and we need to carry the same naming here, that is called D, C. Okay, so sorry, this is called A, this is called B, this is called C, and this is called D. And in order to find out the inclination with respect to VP, projecting it to top view. So after that, what is the point here? The same point we need to keep here. This is called A in bracket B. Then if you want to get the point DC, then take the distance here, keep the compass here and note down the point. So this is called D in bracket C. Now join the line and note down the inclination. So for the inclination, very simple, what we are doing, keeping the protractor here. Okay, what is the angle? The angle, it is called 45 degree with respect to VP. Okay, 45 degree with VP we have getting here. Last point, draw the top view. Sorry, now last point, Rectangular lamina of negligible thickness of side 35 into 20 mm. We have written here one of its shorter edges on VP, the edge inclined at 40 degree to HP. The final inclination they have given, the edge inclined. What is the edge? 20 degree. That should be inclined to 40 degree to HP. Now keep the protractor here. Then this is called, draw the 40 degree line. It is 40 degree to HP. Now keep the shorter edges on 40 degree here. So just initially mark the point. This is called A, and measure the distance of A to B, and this is called B. So instead of taking the arc, you can also draw the straight lines from keeping the perpendicularity. Okay. Then what to do now? Once A and B it is fixed here, measure A to D, then B to C. So here we can write it as this is D dash, and this is C dash, and this is completing the position of the inclination of the lamina with 40 degree to HP. Now the last position, projecting it to the top view. Observe here. So this is AB, and this is called A, this is called B, and this is called B dash. Then both meeting at a point, this is called B. Similarly, this is called D, and the D it is coming from here. So both meeting at a point, this is called D. Similarly, C dash it is coming from here, and C coming from here. So both meeting at a point, this is called C. Now complete the figure. AB, BC, CD, and AD. So this is the final position regarding to the rectangular lamina. That means rectangular lamina, it is keeping on one of its shorter edges on VP, then it is appears as a square in the front view. Angle we are getting it is 45 degree to VP. Then the lamina it is resting on 40 degree to HP on one of its shorter edges, and in the final position it is looks like this. So this completes the rectangular lamina. Thank you.